Good afternoon. I just start?
Yeah, just say your first and last name.
All right, my name is Will Ray. I'm a detective with APD's Robbery Unit.
Please spell your name for us too.
It's W-I-L-L-R-A-Y. We're here today because we have a possibly series of robberies that have occurred in the last week or so. The first one occurred on Friday at about 5:10 p.m. At a business on East Riverside, and the second one occurred on Tuesday at about 4 p.m. or sorry, Monday at about 4 p.m. at a business on the 3400 block of North I-35. The suspect is an older white male, possibly in his 50s or 60s, with he's described as having sun-tan skin, pretty dark tan skin, but he's supposed to be a white male, approximately 5 foot 6 inches tall, and having a distinctly thin build. In both cases, he was wearing baggy, faded jeans and work boots or worn-out tennis shoes, and a long-sleeve shirt. In both cases, he had a black undershirt underneath, and when he left the scene of the robberies, he removed the long-sleeve shirt and discarded it to change his appearance as he fled the scene of the robberies. In both cases, he entered businesses that were kind of low-traffic businesses. They don't have a whole lot of people coming in and out, and just immediately made contact with the person sitting near to the front door, demanded cash, while implying that he had a weapon underneath his shirt or inside of his clothes. He demanded cash, and as soon as it was given, he casually walked out the door and remained pretty calm, walked away from the scene. He didn't run. From surveillance videos, we've seen that he was willing to walk a long way to get to and to get away from the scene of the robberies. And he, we don't know anything about his mode of transportation or anything like that. But at this time, we're asking the public's assistance if they have any knowledge of who the suspect might be, or with the pictures, if they know anybody that matches that description. Again, it's a suspect in his 50s to 60s with pretty suntan skin and fairly short and very thin, according to all the victims.
When you say implied he had a weapon, what do you mean?
No weapon was seen, but he claimed during both robberies that he had a gun. During one, he claimed it was a shotgun, and during one, he claimed it was a pistol. But again, nothing was seen. He did have a baggy button-down shirt on, and it was an object being held underneath that shirt as if it was a weapon, but we're unsure if it was or not.
When you say he walked away, and you could tell by a surveillance video, how far away were you guys able to track him going?
After the second incident, he actually jumped a fence into the Cherrywood neighborhood off of I-35 in the 3400 block. He jumped the fence, and then we're unsure how far he went past that, but it is a residential area, and going over the fence where he was observed jumping, it was a house, it was a backyard. The first one, he walked approximately 3 blocks at least on East Riverside before being lost to surveillance videos. But he definitely made it, a couple hundred yards, even in that case, and possibly beyond. We're not sure based on the video.
So you do have surveillance videos from nearby businesses to try to piece together where this guy was, where he came from?
Mm-hmm.
Did he just get money, or did he get any other material goods? Or?
In these 2 instances, he just got cash.
You're talking about 2 robberies. Could he possibly be linked to any more? Are you guys looking into that?
At this time, his description doesn't match any other robberies that I'm aware of, and the MO also does not match any that I'm aware of. But it's certainly possible. It is also possible that he is recently come back from a stint incarceration or recently new to the area, and that's why people aren't recognizing him in the area.
How sure?
Did he say anything else during the crimes besides "I have a gun"? Or?
He was he yelled at one of the clerks. He told her that he made threats to kill her and other people inside the business. He definitely was active in making threats and trying to disrupt the person in order to get them to hurry up and give him the money.
Now, how sure are you that it was the same guy for both robberies?
I'm fairly certain. I've seen good surveillance videos from both locations. There are a lot of physical similarities, including like mannerisms, the way that the person walks, the way that the person moves, and then the similarity in the MO, the fact that he has a long sleeve shirt on in the middle of summer with an undershirt on, and that he casually walks away from the robberies and removes the shirt during both instances to change his appearance. It's fairly similar. The way that they happened, I'm fairly certain it's the same subject.
And if anybody knows anything, you want them to call you, how do they?
So they can call APD Crime Stoppers. The number is 512-472-TIPS, T-I-P-S. I'm sorry, I don't know the actual number, but it's 472-TIPS, and that's APD Crime Stoppers. They also have an application. There are ways to text Crime Stoppers as well. We also have the robbery tip line, and that comes directly to our office, and that's 512-974-5092. If anybody sees anything suspicious, they can just call 911. Again, a suspect walking in the heat of the day, approximately 100-degree heat most of these days, with a long sleeve shirt on, blue jeans, work boots. Certainly plenty of people are out there working, construction sites and things like that, but this guy appears to be just walking down the street, and if anything looks out of the ordinary, don't be afraid to call 911. If an officer comes and takes a description, you haven't wasted anybody's time. That's all valuable information that we can use to piece together who this guy is.
And I believe it was in information released by APD, something about he might be using the bus system for transportation, and I apologize if you said that and I missed it, but can you talk about that?
It is possible. There were bus stops within a couple blocks of both of these locations, so it is certainly possible, and we believe he might be using the bus based on the distance that he's walking and the direction that he traveled to and from the locations. We don't know if he has a vehicle or not, but so far on surveillance video, we haven't seen any vehicle that would lead us to believe he is driving it.
So you don't have video of him getting on a bus or anything like that? This is just, that's the best option that you can
based
come
on
up
the
with?
proximity of the bus stops to the locations that he's robbed so far.
It's a pretty bold move, that he made, especially during the day, going up to these businesses, walking in, slowly walking out. Like I said, in the middle of the day. Do you see this often?
I'm fairly new as a robbery detective, so I haven't seen it a whole lot, but it's certainly a busy time of day, so people are going about their own commute home or dealing with, closing up, getting ready to leave, getting ready to deal with traffic, all of those issues that they're dealing with themselves. So it's a busy time for everyone, and that could be part of the reason why he's choosing to be active at this time.
Do you think this person will continue to rob businesses if he's not caught?
I hope not, but if there's no indication that he will stop with what he's done so far.
One more question.
Which should, well, it's a two-part question. Have you seen a increase in crime in that area, and what should the business owners do to try to prevent that, or try to stay safe, at least?
There are two different areas. One, the 3400 block of North I-35 is, as far as I know, there hasn't been any increase. And then in terms of the 2400 block of East Riverside, there are a lot of businesses there. So I don't know anything statistically speaking that would say there's been an increase or decrease. But in terms of what people should do, so far people have been compliant. They've handed over the money in most cases. Businesses are insured for things like that anyway. So if a guy is threatening to use a weapon or to harm anybody, just comply with what he's saying, call the police immediately, and try to preserve the scene and any evidence you might be able to, and try to be as observant as possible. To prevent something like that, just try to be as aware as possible of your surroundings, and in particular in this time of day when you're getting ready to go home from work or leave, and all that kind of stuff.
Thank you.